All right, so this is gonna be my first speed build for The Sims 4. I'm really excited. I've been watching a lot of Simmer YouTube channels, doing a lot of different Let's Builds. So I got some inspiration from Plumbella, Little Simsy, a little bit of James Turner, mostly from the two previous ladies that I mentioned. Plumbella doesn't give herself enough credit. She's actually a great builder. Yeah, so one of the things I really want to do, and this is something I've actually been doing since Sims 2, which was the first Sims game that I ever played, was that I wanted to build an entire lot full of houses and communities that essentially like families that I made myself, homes that I made myself. And I tried, and the whole point was to like have them all grow up and have all the different families kind of intermingle and marry each other, have kids. But I wanted them to all be my characters rather than just like NPCs and that kind of thing. So I actually tried a version of this on The Sims 3. Didn't get very far because The Sims 4 came out not too long later. But at one point, I had an entire lot made of my lots and my Sims. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a very like patient marathon type of gameplay, but I really enjoyed it. So that's what I wanted to do here. Only difference is that I want to try and add like community lots as well. Which, if you saw at the very beginning, like the only lot I have on here was a gym. That was my very first community build that I made, or community lot that I've ever made. It was actually really fun to do. It definitely does not look like your normal gym. Put a little bit of inspiration color wise there from the Seattle Seahawks. So that was a lot of fun. So for this lot in particular, one thing that I want to do for this version of this lot, I think this is Willow Creek. What I wanted to do is essentially have a couple bigger lots, residential lots that are like townhomes or like an apartment complex type of lot. So I actually went diving through the internet looking for different townhomes, like real townhomes, um, in the United States. Something for kind of some inspiration. I really wanted to see something that looked like a little bit more of a more what I'm looking for. Uh, Words. English isn't my first language. More modern kind of complex, but something that was kind of similar to like my new place that I'm currently in, which is the first floor is essentially just the garage, and then I basically live above my garage. So as you'll see right here, I'm kind of trying to figure out, based off of the floor plan that I found for this townhome that I'm basing this off of. Uh, it ended up being a little bit smaller than I originally wanted it to, which worked out eventually fine, but I was a little bit concerned at first just looking at the floor plan because originally townhomes were this version of the townhome was supposed to be 3 floors high. The first floor was supposed to be the garage plus the entryway, and the second floor was supposed to be a living room, dining room, and then a kitchen, which you'll see why that becomes a little bit of a problem here. But actually, the greatest challenge, which I was even more surprised about, and for me, I feel like the bedrooms and bathrooms are like the most flexible of rooms that you can do. But the biggest struggle I had was trying to figure out the bathroom and bedroom floor plan up on the top third level, and it was definitely interesting. So here I'm trying to partition off the lot. Originally, I think I was just gonna go with one side of this lot being kind of the residential side, and then the other side, so this open part on kind of like the near side, was going to be more of like maybe like a little park or something. And then I just kind of lost it and I just went all residential. So it looked really kind of cool at the very beginning, and then and then I ended up putting lots on the other sides. So the that pavement going through the middle of the lot is supposed to be like the driveway, and there's definitely a little bit of struggle just because it you'll see. Um, I didn't use any custom content in this build. I thought about maybe trying to actually grab like an actual garage door from custom content. I haven't been meandering through any of the custom content recently. I think the only thing I've been using lately is the puffer head, like the pseudo Harry Potter um, custom content, and that's just because it's awesome. Um, but I didn't use any of that on this lot. I just used the just the given content from the packs, which I have all of them, so I probably used a little bit of everything from all the different builds, which if you don't have all of those packs, it's not too bad. But this the first set of three on the left are the actual like I think those are the only three households that I actually furnished fully, and then I think the rest of them I kind of left up to anybody that wanted to furnish them themselves. So I actually uploaded this onto the gallery so you can look at it. But one of the things that I actually really liked about the townhome complex as well was that it had like a difference in colors between each of them. So I tried to kind of integrate that. As you can see, I've got like the blue doors on one side, and then more of the red doors on the right side. And then when I get to the other half of the complex, I think I go green and orange if I can remember correctly. But that kind of I liked using colors. I didn't want to go too crazy, just because when you start to use a lot of colors in one build, especially in the outside, I think for me personally, it loses a little bit of the kind of classiness. So that was something I was trying to kind of figure out as I went along. I also decided to make I think recently, while I've been doing some builds just kind of off camera, and I think I've been doing a little bit on my Mixer channel. So if you don't follow me on Mixer, I do stream Sims 4 on there. That's what I've been doing quite a bit more recently, even though I'm mostly just playing Apex Legends, but I definitely am streaming The Sims 4 more recently. But one of the things I've started doing is using the medium wall height, because I actually like the doors for the medium wall height quite a bit. I think it just adds kind of a nice dimension to the buildings. So that first floor there, I ended up using a medium sized door because I like the windows. And then you can see here, I'm kind of trying to figure out. Played with this quite a bit, trying to figure out like a good set of windows to go for the second and third floor. And it does look a little wonky with the like pockets filled out with the door on the second floor. And the reason why is because on the actual townhome, and I'll go ahead and show that up on the screen. They have like a tiny little porch on the second floor. So it looks very like cubicle-ish, very kind of like geometric. This build actually kind of really liked. I thought it was really interesting. Oh, look at that, a host. That's really funny. So I kind of wanted to keep that vibe with the porch, and I think that added a little bit of nice aesthetic for the build, just because it's not. I mean, it's still very rectangular, but I think it makes it look a little bit better. And yeah, it's just see, I keep playing with the fucking windows. By the way, what came out, was it today or yesterday? I think it was today. A survey just came out on SurveyMonkey from The Sims 4 about like they called it like their biggest survey yet of things that they're optionally thinking about doing for game packs. And it was I watched Plumbella's video on it that just came out like a couple hours ago. Because I've been trying to follow the surveys for the new stuff pack, which I could go into, and I probably will, about how I'm not entirely happy about it, but that's okay. I am not like a heavy duty Sims person in comparison to uh, those ladies that I mentioned previously. But the survey was friggin' awesome. So like it really went into depth on like some like different aspects on The Sims 4 and like what we want to see more in the game. So for example, like it had a lot of different relationship um, ideas. So like if you, let's say for example, your sim had a divorce um, with a previous sim, like that doesn't just kind of go out the window. That actually they remember that, and it can affect what's going on in their present. There's a lot of other things like having different types of relationship types, so like romance. I think one of them mentioned brunch buddies, so, which was kind of interesting. Like I get the idea. It definitely, in my mind, when I think of like brunch buddies, it kind of gives this idea that like you're able to have different social relationships. Obviously, that's what bromance kind of indicates, but that's more of like a friendship thing where I'm thinking more for social relationships is like, maybe that friend that you don't see very often, or like your one of your girlfriends. And by girlfriends, I mean girl space friend. It could be your girlfriend too, whatever. Um, like you guys meeting up like every other month to go get like, there's like a movie I just saw not too long ago with these girls that hate each other, but they go and do like lunch every like month. All they do is like hate on each other. I don't remember what movie it was, but it was hilarious. Um, so that was like the relationship side, and then they had some stuff to do like rating how interested you are in new traits, new aspirations, new skills, um, lot types, I believe, and lot traits. Which I don't really care so much about the lot types and lot traits. I think we actually have a lot of lot types, um, a lot of them. Some that I definitely would like never consider making, but that's cool. This game is not made for me. This game is made for a very large variety of streamers, gamers. Um, but the traits I know is a really, really big. Well, maybe not the traits. I'm sorry. The aspirations I know is kind of a big thing that people have been complaining about, and I completely understand because if you remember back to The Sims 3, like there were so many aspirations. Like you could have so many different sims that you're playing with, and like all of them have a different aspiration, and it doesn't feel repetitive. You don't feel like you're getting tired of an aspiration. It's just, it was amazing. But in The Sims 4, like I'm already getting tired of the aspirations. I know it's been like 5 years since the game has been out, but like I always end up using the same ones because there's not that big of a variety. Some of them I feel like at least half of them I just have no interest in doing whatsoever because they're so specific. Like the jungle adventure one, like what was the city living one where you just kind of like you end up like going to all the different festivals and like doing like apartment living specific sort of things, which like is cool for like a short time, but I've always liked the career based ones or like the skill based ones. So like which one was great was like world renowned surgeon, or like I still really like the master chef and mixologist and bodybuilder, like all those ones where it actually takes a really quite a bit of time to get there. The athlete one is the one I always use in like every single game. So that's one of them, and I'm trying to do something different just because it is getting dry. I feel like I've been saying this with Halo 5 for like the past also like 4 or 5 years, but just been struggling to like find to like do something that feels different but fun at the same time that I won't get bored with really quickly. And I feel like aspirations are really, really struggling in that department. There's some other things there too, but I think those were kind of the biggest ones. I also mentioned actually before I forget, which game packs and expansion packs they are like we would want kind of polished up, that we think like for example, I know a lot of people have been complaining about Island Living not having a like it has a lot of really, really cool CAS items and stuff, but just the gameplay seems cool and it looks cool for like the first five, maybe a couple hours that you're playing it, and then you get really tired of it and realize that it's actually just a very, very unfinished expansion pack. And to be fairly honest, I haven't actually played in it a whole lot. Um, because it just looks cool to me, and I think the kind of um let's play, kind of gameplays that I do don't really fit uh, so well in that world, which is perfectly fine. I think for me, I love San Myshuno. It's probably one of my favorite lots. This one that I'm building in right now is going to be the big one that I'm really focusing on, just because, like I said, I really want to get. And this is going to take a while, quite a while, but I really want to focus on getting all of these lots done on this specific world. And again, it's going to be just kind of like a lot of townhomes. There's going to be some starter homes too, or maybe even some lots that have like 2 houses on it, just so I can put more than just one household on one lot. So I can kind of build up, that idea of it like really, really being kind of a town feeling, without it being really sparse. Uh, Probably add a restaurant on there. I know I already said I have a gym. I kind of want to see if I can build a library, but I feel like that'd be a little bit boring just because I lose interest really quickly, if you couldn't tell. Um, there's some other lot types that I wanted to consider doing. I just haven't really thought of what else, but a restaurant is definitely something I want to do. I might even do maybe 2 restaurants, maybe something a little bit smaller and more casual, and then something maybe a little bit more refined and kind of fancy. But we'll see about that. So back to build here, you can see struggling again with the windows, but it actually looks actually quite like how the outside ended up looking. You can tell it definitely looks more doesn't definitely has more of like a townhome feeling, or like kind of like a condo. And I the idea of the different colors, which I kind of mentioned for the walls between each of them. That's something that I did not come up with that myself. That again, I kind of got inspiration from the actual original building type. Um, I thought it looked really cool though, and I'll play around with the windows on the 3rd floor yet again. Um, but for now, I kind of like it. Um, I mean, at this time, I liked it, but I came up with something different that I liked a lot more. Um, so as you can see, I kind of finally finished that outside. At this point, I start going into furnishing the inside. So we're just gonna skip past that, and we're gonna look at the other side. Cool. So as you can see, kind of starting on the other side here, I wanted to go with something a little bit different, so I kind of ventured off of the original townhomes that I was kind of inspired by for this lot. Wanted a bigger, more open floor plan, and of course, it's not going to look so open when you see it a little bit further down the road. But I was kind of thinking of in some complexes, obviously they have a little bit smaller floor plans than something a little bit bigger for like maybe a like a family, or like a maybe a little bit of a bigger family. So kind of like the idea of a double garage apartment. So as you can see, it's going to be split up obviously here into 4 buildings. You have the blue and red buildings, which are going to be just kind of single garage floor plans, and then or floor plans with just a single garage. And then there's going to be 3 in each building. And then on the opposite side, so on this right side here, you see the green and orange buildings. Those are going to be double garage with a little bit of a larger floor plan. So for the, I kind of like this idea too. As you see, I'm kind of putting down pavement. Kind of like the idea of actually having a driveway. I'm not sure if I like it 100%, but I kind of like the idea of just kind of being able to see, where the road would be technically. And I'm starting to think maybe if I go back, when I go back into this lot, of maybe changing like a pathway or something from the doors to the street, or kind of trying to figure something out that makes it look a little bit less unfinished, especially since it's going essentially straight from pavement to grass. And at least in my apartment complex, or in my like townhome complex, it's just all road and sidewalk. There isn't really any grass except as like features in between the apartment complexes. So that's probably something I'll work on in the next installment of this. Which, by the way, as you'll see in this video, the blue building on the inside is completely decorated. And that actual floor plan is 2 bedroom, 1 bath. it's very crowded. So in the floor plan for the original townhome that I was looking at, I believe it was 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, and obviously my floor plan is a lot smaller than I think I was originally planning on, but it worked out just fine, I think. Um, and it essentially has like a master bedroom and then like a much smaller bedroom, like a secondary bedroom for like a child or a toddler or maybe even a baby, something that or someone that wouldn't have necessarily as much stuff. So I think the secondary room is a 3 by 3. It also has a small bathroom, so kind of very compact. So for a very maybe small family or maybe a pair of roommates, something along those lines. That's for the blue room. That one's fully decorated. I noticed when I was going through decorating, because I actually have most of these buildings decorated by now. Um, you won't see that in this video. But by the way, if you guys want to, I currently have, I think is that 4, 6, that's 10 apartments. I have at least, I think, maybe half of them fully decorated. If you guys want to see that in the next video, please just let me know in the comments. Additionally, what I really want to do is actually make, put like a whole bunch of Sims on this lot, so maybe like 30 Sims or something crazy like that. Just kind of fill out, maybe not all the apartments, but most of them, just so be kind of realistic, because there's not always every single apartment filled in a complex. But I thought that might be interesting, putting a bunch of Sims in like each of their own little households, letting them kind of live in there, and then I think it'd be kind of cool because they can walk around the complex and kind of like meet each other and be like actual neighbors. And I thought that'd be really fun. I thought that was definitely an interesting concept, especially considering what my whole theme is here, which is essentially just, I want to have this whole lot just full, or this whole world. I'm sorry, I keep saying lot, but I mean world. You guys know what I mean. I wanted this entire world to be full of lots with just a lot of people, just so it'd be like a town essentially. And I'm kind of disappointed. I think that they didn't go back and make this world have neighborhoods like some of the other worlds do. I think like Brindleton Bay has neighborhoods, so like it's sectioned off in different areas. San Myshuno also has that, which I actually really really like. I kind of thought it'd be cool if they do it here. I might do like like pseudo neighborhoods. So where the larger lots are, those will probably most likely be kind of like a little bit more uh, not necessarily residential, but more community lots. Like definitely gonna put a restaurant over there. I already have a gym. Maybe I'll put like a high-rise apartment complex, so it looks like something that would fit like in the more busy part of a town. That might be actually really fun to build. But yeah, if you guys want to see kind of a let's play with this lot, please let me know in the comments. I think that'd be something that'd be really fun to do, like build, like making the Sims with different families, kind of coming up with some stories in between them. I might definitely do that. I think that'd be a really fun like let's play for my first one on YouTube. So okay, so as you see, I think you just showed it for the green building, the floor plan there, and it looks like I'm going to start working on this red one. So for this red building, for the floor plan, I wanted it to be a little bit more open. So I ended up only just going with one single like master bedroom and then a little bit of a larger bathroom than in the blue building. I kind of just like the idea of like maybe like there's like a single individual or maybe like a single couple living in the red building. I think when I was going through and decorating one of the apartments, I actually made it so it's like a pair of siblings, or this was kind of like the story I was thinking in my head is like maybe a pair of brothers or like a brother sister pair that go to Foxbury. So I just like totally decorated the entire apartment and just all Foxbury gear. So red, yellow, black. They're kind of the theme colors and a lot of the decorations from Discovery University. In fact, on the green building, like for this left apartment, so it's like straight across from the Foxbury one, I ended up it was a lot of fun. I ended up making it like a Brightchester themed apartment complex or apartment, just because green is so hard, I feel like, to match colors with in in The Sims 4. I don't know why. There's just so many different tones and like none of them ever match. So it was a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it was easier using the Discover University stuff because all of that green matches, at least more so. It's not as hard to look at. So that was a lot of fun. Ended up decorating that with a lot of like posters and like banners and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. I also actually really liked the I decided to make the porches a little bit bigger for these larger the orange and like green buildings, just because there was like more fun stuff that you could put on the porch. And like on the blue building, I ended up putting like little grills and like little chairs and stuff. But on the larger side, I could do something a little bit more creative, I think. So that was kind of fun. Um, and I think that's it. As you can see, I'm kind of finishing up the touches. For the green and orange builds, I ended up going with a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. But it's called Bemused Townhomes. I actually named it after a follower who popped into my Mixer stream. So please go ahead and check it out. I think I already have a couple downloads, which was awesome. That was really sweet. I think this was the first lot I actually loaded up on. Actually loaded up to the gallery, so that was super exciting. Would love to see some comments on there, what you guys think. It's definitely hard to see in the pictures, kind of like what I was going for, but hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you put some Sims in there and what you guys think about it. The version that I uploaded to the gallery isn't decorated except for the blue building, so you kind of have an idea of maybe what I was thinking as you're looking at it. It's under the hashtag save honor because I'm kind of thinking about doing like a full honor save or a save file, but if not, like I said, I'm just going to do maybe a save file for this one world. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you would like to see me do for Sims content, because it is definitely something I think would be really fun to do on my YouTube channel. So I'm kind of trying to put a little bit more different variety content on this channel. So thank you all. Keep it honorable and have a great day. I wonder if it looks like I know what I'm doing in this game. Like, does it? I know I'm building stuff, but building is not really what I normally do in this. Hey, do me a favor, make sure you subscribe. Cool? Thanks.